how many of you know when you go to the doctor, you don't want to be told what you want to hear, you want to be told what you need to hear. Like, hey, this is what needs to happen. This is what you need to hear. Listen, here's what the truth is. And so Paul said to Timothy, he said that these people will be ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. Does that not describe our society? That we are ever learning and we are never coming to the knowledge of the truth? There's so much self-help knowledge out there. There's so many people out there spouting off what they think is their truth. And oh, that might be your truth, but that's not my truth. And there's all of these people out there, and they're making their own ideas what they think are truth. I want to say, listen, there's only one version of truth, and it is what Jesus said. Listen, truth is not what you think, is not what I think. It is what is true. If you came into this room and you said, hey, this room is 65 feet long, and I said, no, it's 45 feet. And you said, no, it's 65. I said, no, it's 45. And then someone came in with a measuring rod and they said, no, it's 55 feet. We would both be wrong. You know why? Because there's nothing that will change how wide this room is. I want to say that there is nothing in culture that will change what is true. There is nothing that can make it untrue. And so the truth will set us free when we decide that we're not the ones who make up what is true. We're the ones that follow it. And so this is what Jesus said. You will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Now, how does the truth make us free? Now, watch this. One of the greatest illustrations of this is growing up, I loved to go out on the lake, and my uncle had a boat, and we would go out on the lake, and we would be pulled on a tube. There'd be a rope from the back of the boat onto a tube. And my uncle was a very kind man until he got behind that boat. And his eyes would kind of deepen, and he's, I'm going to just, drive it like a maniac. And he was, number one goal, to throw us off that tube. And we're holding on for dear life, and we're kind of going over all the waves and the bumps. And man, every once in a while, he'd whip the boat around and fling us off, and he'd laugh, and we'd swim back to the tube, get up on the tube, and then they'd pull us in. Now, here's what the world says freedom is. The world says, you don't have to be tied down to what the Bible says. You don't need that. In fact, you can just cut the rope. Why not just untether yourself from what the Bible says? You see, the Bible is just kind of narrow-minded, and it's old-fashioned. You don't really need what the Bible says, and so why not be untethered? And they call freedom being whatever you think is true to you. Whatever you want is freedom.